All right, you guys, Wes here. Welcome back to another Battlefield 2042 video. And today we've got some news regarding what the potential future could look like for the Battlefield franchise. We've also got some news to talk about regarding the new member reward for EA Play members for Battlefield 2042. And we're also going to go over a statement made by the new game director for Battlefield Narrative, Marcus Lehto. And you guys are not going to want to miss out on it because it's got some serious implications for what the future could look like. Hey, what's up, everyone? Wes here. Welcome back to another Battlefield video. And to get started, we're going to talk about the new monthly reward for EA Play members because it is now available whenever you log into Battlefield 2042. So for those of you that do pay for EA Play, you can actually log in right now and get the Capum weapon charm. Next up, we have to talk about the biggest news of the day. So Marcus Lehto on Twitter, who is obviously the game director for Battlefield Narrative at EA, posted a random tweet saying this: "I'm having a rough time figuring out the objective priorities on the Halo Infinite map. Common problem or an okay boomer issue?" To which a Battlefield fan gave a snark comment with this: "I have a rough time figuring out why EA is transforming my beloved franchise Battlefield in what it is not. If you could maybe clarify for me." To which Marcus replied, "I'm figuring that out myself, then planning to fix things." So for those of you that are not aware, Marcus Lehto is actually the co-creator of the Halo universe and has even dubbed himself the father of the Master Chief. Credit to Battlefield Bulletin, they actually quoted that tweet with this, saying narrative game director Marcus Lehto is aware that fans are not happy with the direction that the franchise is taking, and he's looking to fixing things. Hopefully Marcus can bring Battlefield back to its core identity and roots. An ex-game dev at DICE actually replied to that tweet with this, saying strongly recommend mapping out Battlefield 3 and 4 instead of features and then going from there. Looking forward to seeing what you guys can do. Industry insider and leaker Tom Henderson tweeted out this, saying, "You've got to love how Marcus is straight to the point on social. Actions speak louder than words, of course, but it's great to see the no-nonsense attitude. Putting specialists back on their classes and giving them some depth with short movies like Exodus would be great in my opinion." So my initial take is this: I think it's great that Marcus is addressing the concerns of fans already. He started the job in October of 2021, so I would not expect anything groundbreaking to happen for quite some time. Now, that's not to mean that he's not going to give creative feedback and let his vision realize throughout the rest of the game cycle of Battlefield 2042. I think we can all agree that the story and the world building of Battlefield 2042 is interesting, especially whenever you look at the initial concept art and images posted by the Battlefield Twitter. The world of 2042 is something that I want to experience, and I think that is one of Marcus's short-term goals. DICE was able to get the concept and the shell of the world of 2042, but they were not able to fully flesh it out. They weren't able to actually do the world building. Now, do I think Battlefield 2042 will be saved with better narrative and world building and more immersion? That is not going to be the case, but what the goal of a creative director is to do is to build a world for the developers to actually create. Without a story and a narrative, it is impossible for developers to just slap some stuff together and try to make it an immersive experience that we've come to love about the Battlefield franchise. That was one of my initial concerns after the news that there was no campaign or single player aspect for Battlefield 2042. Despite the Exodus short film being incredible, they really did not have any universe or world building. So that's why I think having Marcus there will be a big step in the right direction. With Vince Zampella being the head of the Battlefield franchise and Marcus Lehto being the game director for the narrative for the Battlefield universe, I think the overall future of the Battlefield franchise is in pretty good hands. Now, whether or not those two combined will be able to right the ship for Battlefield 2042, that's kind of up in the air at this point. I hate to say it, but I firmly believe that the game that we got for Battlefield 2042 is pretty much all the developers have done. I highly doubt that future seasons of Battlefield 2042 are fully done, which can be good and bad. Now, the reason that it's bad is because the content schedule for Battlefield 2042 will likely be less frequent like previous Battlefield titles. Battlefield 2042 came out in November. It's already January 1st of 2022, and we are already running out of content waiting on season 1. Now, the good thing about this is Marcus and Vince Zampella will be able to give their creative direction around the future seasons and ensure that quality assurance happens so that future content updates are actually fully fleshed out rather than being completely empty and broken on launch. I really hope I'm wrong, but I've got a feeling that Battlefield 2042's content schedule is going to be less than ideal. At the end of the day, Battlefield 2042 is a live service game, and in my opinion, live service games should release new content every 1 to 2 weeks, not in the form of weekly missions that are extremely easy to do. I'm talking limited time modes, new maps, new weapons, gadgets, and everything else that live service games actually get. Moving right along, I want to talk briefly about the next update for Battlefield 2042. As you guys know, in my last video, I talked about the fact that we have not had a new update for the game since December 9th, and it's already looking like we might not get an update for this week either. As you guys know, the DICE developers have been on holiday, so they've been out of office since, I believe, December 17th. The developers coming back from vacation really depends on whether or not they celebrate the holiday on January 6th. If they do celebrate it, then we're not going to get an update for Battlefield 2042 until January 13th, which is 2 weeks away. In my opinion, this next update for Battlefield 2042 will be critical for the future success of the game. Players have already started leaving the franchise entirely, which initially is not a good sign. And the fact of the matter is there's so many glaring issues and problems, glitches and bugs that are happening in Battlefield 2042 that if they don't get resolved soon, then players will just abandon the game completely. The game's player count has continued to dwindle down since the launch of the game, and if we do not get this next update as well as new content coming to the game sooner than later, then I truly feel the days of Battlefield 2042 are numbered, but only time will tell. Guys, that's gonna wrap it up with today's Battlefield 2042 news. I'm giving away a PlayStation 5 and a copy of BF 2042. To enter, all you have to do is subscribe to my channel, follow me on Twitter, comment your Twitter handle, and make sure I can contact you. The winner will be announced at 55,000 subscribers.